Hey, I'm ZSHplays, and this is Planet Zoo 2. I've got the brand new gameplay trailer, loads of extra footage, loads of brand new animals, and a confession. I have already seen Planet Zoo 2 in action, and it looks incredible. I don't know how I kept this a secret, but back in March, Frontier invited me to Frontier HQ in Cambridge to see Planet Zoo 2 in action, and today I'm going to tell you all about it and show you everything that I have on Planet Zoo 2. Let's go! We'll start with the gameplay trailer, straight in with two new animals. So much to unpack here. Immediately you can see the amazing new lighting engine and how good everything looks on screen. Got loads of new pieces here in this African-themed zoo. We got our first confirmed animal, the Masai giraffe. We knew we were getting giraffes, but didn't know what subspecies it was. And then lots of the others we've already seen, like the African savanna elephant and the blue wildebeest, galloping through this beautiful wildlife reserve. A little peek at the habitat here. And then the chimps, which are absolutely amazing. Now, the way we're able to build these habitats is going to be very different in Planet Zoo 2. There are some amazing new features coming, which I'll show you a bit later. You can see the quality of the new animals. These giraffes look absolutely stunning. Shadows in the new lighting engine look unbelievable. And the new zebra as well. It's a massive improvement on the original. And yes, we are finally getting a foliage brush in Planet Zoo 2. I cannot wait to use that, having used it in Jurassic World Evolution 3 for the past few months. And of course, scaling as well. Pretty much knew we were getting that, but great to see it confirmed. You can see the aquariums here are fully customizable, just like the habitats. They're not just like a square box that you put down. Here's the beautiful Hawksbill turtles. And we got another new animal here, the pufferfish, which is adorable. Not including the giraffe. There are 7 new animals revealed in this trailer, but I've got another one for you as well that I'll show you later on. And then a view of one of the other scenarios. This is the Scottish Highlands. There's a wildlife reserve here, and by the looks of it, a zoo as well. And one of the star animals here is the white-tailed sea eagle. I saw a little picture of this in the press release. I think I referred to it as possibly a bald eagle in the last video, but that is confirmed now. It is a white-tailed sea eagle. All the birds I've seen so far in this footage and the previous footage look absolutely incredible. The sea eagle's absolutely majestic, soaring over the highlands here. And we get a good view of these wildlife reserves, which look absolutely amazing. And you can also see some beavers, presumably Eurasian beavers if they're in the Scottish Highlands. Got some deer here as well. I'm assuming they're red deer. I don't know whether I want to make a new series of Planet Wild or retire it permanently because we don't need it anymore with what Frontier have built here. And that is the gameplay trailer. Really excited to watch that. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's take a look at the other new footage that we have. First up, a closer look at the chimps. Just look at that fur. It's unbelievable. I can't tell you too much about what I saw in Frontier's demonstrations, but what I can say is that I think we're going to be very happy with how these chimps behave, especially in regards to their climbing frames. You can see them using them in a much more realistic fashion than they do in Planet Zoo here. And the animation on their faces and the sounds as well is superb. Being able to build better for the large primates like this that we know and love is going to be so cool. But what I'm particularly excited for is the tiny primates like the golden lion tamarin. Cannot wait to get stuck into building some more unique and much smaller habitats for them. I was thinking the other day as well that they open the door to squirrels as well. I don't know if we're getting any squirrels in the base game or even if they're going to be added in any DLCs, but it's going to be amazing to be able to build the kind of tiny implied habitats that we've been building for the past few years and for them to no longer be implied but actually have small little climbing animals in them. It's going to be amazing. All right, let's check out the next animal. We're back in an aquarium here to get a closer look at them. Look at the light rays shining through. We've got these shoals of fish swimming around, living coral, and one of the stars of the announced trailer, the Hawksbill turtle. As you can see, the way underwater works in the game has been completely rewritten and looks incredible. And there's another new species, which I think is some type of grouper behind them. Not 100% sure, but one thing I am fascinated to know is how many animals are we going to get in the base game. I certainly don't subscribe to Frontier need to bring all of them back. That makes no sense financially. And I'd much rather have really high quality models than loads and loads and loads of animals. I'm far more interested in exactly which species they bring back and hoping that that enables us to build a realistic zoo straight away. Let's check out another of the birds. Hopping into action is the Toco Toucan. I absolutely love this model. Here they are flying as well. He's landing on one of the perch points here. Well, once he takes off and flies away, we'll see something much more interesting than that, which is one of the toucans having a little snooze perched on what appears to be just a normal tree rather than a specific perch point. And if that is the case, that is going to make aviary design really, really interesting. Probably worth taking another look at the sea eagles here. because the quality of the work on the feathers, not to mention the rest of the models, and the way their wings ripple in the wind. They seem to be really dynamic. They don't just look amazing, but with them landing on the ground, interacting with their enrichment items, perching on their perch points, potentially perching on scenery. These are real habitat animals with all the same abilities and then more. I can't wait to start building for them. Onto the tigers now, and I was genuinely at a loss for words the first time I saw this tiger model. Having been possibly one of the worst animals in Planet Zoo in terms of the quality of the model and the textures and things, this is just mind-blowing. The fur simulation, the animation, the way they move, even their facial expressions, they all just look so real. It looks like incredibly high quality pre-rendered footage, but this is all just in-game. You get a closer look here as well at how the water in-game interacts with the animals. You can see it actually rippling as they walk through it in 3D, which is amazing. Look at this one rolling over. And this is the second different tropical style tree I've seen the tigers scratching. So I'm thinking they might be able to scratch any items rather than just the enrichment tree item that we had in Planet Zoo. We'll have to see how that one plays out. I've also got some footage of them taken with the normal in-game camera. This is live in-game, the tiger walking out of the water, leaving footprints in the sand, and then using one of their scratching posts here. Even just with the normal in-game camera without any flashy camera angles and depth of field and things like that, they look so good. Should point out as well, this is beta footage, so it may look even better than this by the time the game comes out. There's some, what looks like some improved special effects for the water there as well. Really good looking waterfall. And we get another little look at how the animals interact with the water. When he's finished with his scratching post, he decides to go for a dip. Sticking with the water theme, we've got some more in-game camera footage of the Hawksbill turtle here, and it looks just as good as the stuff in the trailer. The way the light interacts with them and plays over them. You can see that plant waving in the water there as well. And it's not just the water in the aquariums that's been revamped. If we check out the saltwater crocodile here, in one of their habitats, just look how amazing it looks underwater here with all the caustic rays playing over the sand and the log that's been placed there. You can even see above water a little bit, unlike in Planet Zoo. I just hope we can make this water as dark green as I want it to when we're building real zoos. As exceptional as this visibility is, it's not always going to be like this in a zoo. I love the water droplets going down the camera lens when you go in and out of the water as well. I think that comes over from Planet Coaster 2. It really does look like a perfect recreation of the sort of crystal clear waters and light dappling that you'd see in Southeast Asia or somewhere like that. Everything in and around the water just looks amazing. But let's check out something we haven't seen before. The new staff buildings. Judging from all the different staff buildings that I've seen in trailers and screenshots, and one of the animated GIFs on the Planet Zoo 2 website, I am pretty sure these are going to be completely modular. Obviously there'll be loads of blueprints to choose from, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to build staff buildings exactly how we want them, rather than throwing down the enormous boxes that they've been using for the last 5 years, which is going to be so cool. There's all these little bits in here like the bins, the laptop phones, mugs, little toucan model, some folders on the desk. It's going to be so much more powerful being able to build things like this. If I'm right and they are modular, that would also mean that all of these amazing pieces like fridges and things like that would be available to use as separate pieces, which is going to open up like a whole new world of design possibilities and off-show areas and things like that. Though I can already tell I'm going to miss my favorite excuse for not doing much in the way of staff areas, that you can't do enough with the boxes that Planet Zoo gives you to make it worthwhile. It looks like I'm not going to have an excuse anymore to not build proper staff buildings, so I'll have to start factoring those in. And it won't just be improved staff areas we can build, because now we're finally going to be able to easily build aviaries. Let's take a look at those. I've got an extended look at a completed aviary in-game here, including a little glimpse of the UI, and it is a thing of beauty. We can finally retire just Goron's mesh blueprint and build them ourselves. And if we take a close look at the trailer, we can see some more details on that. When you're building aviaries, you can change the angle and the length of the roof supports, and the mesh will automatically fill in. You don't need to do anything. You can adjust the curve of the mesh itself, as well as the supports. I don't know if there's more than one support type, but obviously you can just cover them up with your own if you want to go custom. You can basically just build the aviary walls exactly like you would a normal habitat, and then the roof takes care of itself automatically, and then you can go in and take a deep dive and make any changes you want Whether you want a very formal 19th century style aviary, or if you want a much more expansive 20th and 21st century style aviary with flowing mesh and all sorts of different angles. You can make tiny ones, you can make massive ones. It's just going to be absolutely amazing. All right, time to look at all the new gameplay features that I've seen in the footage and screenshots I've got here. First thing I want to talk about is the UI. Really like Planet Zoo's UI, although I guess after 5 years of playing it, I'm going to know it pretty well. What I like about the new UI is they've taken a much more modern flat look. Really nice colors, that kind of safari green, but kept the basic layout pretty much the same, which I think personally works much better for building than the layout in Jurassic World Evolution 3. Really happy with that. But let's move on to something that has been one of the hardest things to use in Planet Zoo from day one, and it is finally getting an improvement: the pathing. Now we're talking. Look at all those options in the path menu there. It looks like we're basically getting the same pathing tools as Planet Coaster 2, potentially with some even newer improvements. There's certainly more options on this screen than I remember from Planet Coaster 2, but we've got the classic pathing from Planet Zoo, if for some unknown reason you still want to use that, and then all the amazing new options like being able to draw out paths, being able to use nodes to create paths. I'm assuming we're going to have the completely invisible paths. We're going to be able to make our zoos so much more realistic and so much more inventive with all of these new tools. And if you look carefully at the pathing around this aviary in this screenshot here, you can see some of the much more inventive, wider, and more interestingly shaped paths that you're able to create with these tools. No more horrible holes in the path everywhere that you're trying to cover up with terrain and decals. We can just make them the way we want them to be, and presumably we're also going to be able to copy them around our zoos like you can in Planet Coaster 2. One of the biggest bugbears in Planet Zoo from day one. So good to see massive improvements to this. Cannot wait to get stuck into those. Oh, that is satisfying. We are finally going to get scaling in Planet Zoo. Looks like it's going to be fairly limited, the same as it is in Jurassic World Evolution 3 and Planet Coaster 2. But having had scaling for a while in JWE 3 now, it is so useful. What I find is rather than going through pieces and thinking, oh, if I shrink this, I can use this, it's more useful when you find the perfect piece for what you want and it's just too big and you just can't use it. Now you just scale it down and you're away. It makes building so much more flexible. I think you guys are going to love it. I am going to love the nature brush. I have been wishing we had one of these ever since I started playing at Jurassic World Evolution 3. It makes such a difference to building when you can cover a large area in good-looking foliage in a matter of seconds. All the tedium of placing tree after tree after tree, and then your ground cover, and then your grass. Being able to just paint over the landscape in broad strokes means not only is it much more fun to build, but then you can spend your time doing the real detail and individually placing plants in the places that matter and not the places miles away from where you're going to be looking at the habitat. And looking at the sheer number of options on this nature brush panel, I reckon we're going to be able to fully customize this like we do in Planet Coaster 2, as well as being able to just use the beautiful presets like we do in Jurassic World Evolution. Right, let's talk about seasons. Planet Zoo 2 will now have seasons, and you can see the indicator for that on these screenshots here. You can see a lot more detail about this on the Planet Zoo 2 website if you want to learn more. But basically there are dynamic seasons. It's no longer just random weather and the date having no effect on your zoo. You now have proper seasons, and they will change depending on whereabouts in the world your zoo is, which I think is going to be a really cool gameplay feature. And finally, for the building, one more thing that I noticed in the trailer, that is a dry moat. Something we build all the time in the game, but wasn't really supported in any official way in Planet Zoo. I don't know if that's just terrain or what, but it's going to be really interesting finding out. For the final part of this video, we're going to look at the 8 new species that have either been revealed or shown for the first time today, starting with the eagle ray. The spotted eagle ray is absolutely massive, and it looks really cool as well. Really like this model. You just get a quick glimpse of them drifting through the water in the opening shot of the trailer, and you can just about catch them as well towards the end of the trailer, way off in the distance in an aquarium, but we've got a great shot of them in this screenshot here. Such a unique animal. It's going to be a really fresh experience building something for these guys. Next up is the Masai giraffe. We knew we were getting giraffes, so we could just about make them out in the key art, but now we know what species it is and what they look like, and wow, another enormous improvement on Planet Zoo. Even animals like this that have really short fur, there's still huge amounts more texture than there is in the original game, and the lighting just makes everything look better. Next up is the pufferfish. You get a couple of quick glimpses of these in the trailer. They look amazing. There's sexual dimorphism as well. You can see a smaller, different coloured one in the background, presumably a female. The first expanding animal we've had in the Planet Zoo games. Looking forward to seeing that up close. Next up, it's the beavers. These again look higher fidelity than they do in Planet Zoo. That little baby just running along there, super cute. Great to see them returning from Planet Zoo. This is all we have of those at the moment, so let's move on. The white-tailed sea eagle we've seen a lot of in this video already, so let's move on to the red deer. Another animal returning from Planet Zoo, great to see it back. This for me is one of the most impressive animals in Europe, and it is so versatile in zoos. You can create beautiful natural environments like this in huge swathes of Europe, even Asia I think. Do they occur in Asia? They might do. And they also make really impressive specimens for display in the zoo as well. And speaking of impressive, we're getting the great hornbill. I love hornbills, they're such unique animals. There are so many different species and they all have the most impressive adornments. And the great hornbill, as the name would suggest, is possibly the greatest. These are a classic bird for any sort of Asian theming in your zoos. There's only a brief flash of them in the trailer, but there's another shot of them in this Asian wildlife reserve with the Sumatran tiger here as well. And unless I've missed anything, that just leaves the new fish, which I'm assuming is a group. It might even be a parrotfish, you know? As I think I said before, I'm not really a fish guy, so apologies for my lack of ability to immediately identify that species. And that is everything that I have noticed in the Planet Zoo gameplay trailer and all the extra footage and screenshots that Frontier sent me. Thank you so much to Frontier for sending this to me early. Had a lot of fun dissecting it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll be back very soon with more Planet Zoo, Jurassic World Evolution 3, and quite possibly Planet Zoo 2. Thanks for watching.